1,000 days. That's how long Paul's been battling his council after it booted his disabled son out of the granny flat. Sure, the flat was built without council approval, but Paul didn't build it. That was the previous owner he bought the property from 13 years earlier. And it's torn their family apart.
And this just doesn't pass the pub test, Steve.
A red tape bungle has triggered an almighty bloom.
Yes, Steve, I'm extremely angry about that.
A son booted out of home.
You okay, Lewis? You're all right.
A dad out for revenge.
So you're on the warpath now?
Absolutely.
But has he picked a fight with the wrong bloke?
I think it's disgusting, actually.
Okay.
He should have a good look at himself.
Just how on earth did we end up here?
What's this done to your family?
Well, it's torn it apart.
Paul bought this house in Sydney's Earlwood because the granny flat was ideal for his disabled adult son, Lewis.
We just knew that that was going to be perfect for him, that it would give him the independence that he needed.
But 13 years later, Paul's Canterbury Bankstown Council dropped the mother of all bombs on his granny flat.
It turned out that in 2007, when we purchased the property, it hadn't been signed off.
The flat was built by the previous owner years earlier, but Paul and his conveyancer didn't clock it wasn't compliant. Paul says he spent 30 grand trying to navigate a development application minefield to have the granny flat approved.
Nobody acted for 1,000 days.
Council disputes the 1,000 days claim. Paul's point is, before Bankstown Council merged with Canterbury Council, in 2013 it took just 43 days to rubber stamp a granny flat DA for its mayor, Carl Asfor. Later, Asfor also received swift approval to subdivide the property and build a duplex. So we've got one property here, looks to be the granny flat. Got another one here that looks to be part of the duplex. And on this side we have the other property that belongs to the duplex. So that's three. Three properties in all on this one block. Lucky for some. Paul claims Asfor's development in Greenacre doesn't add up. He says the property is too small for 3 homes. Carl Asfor says, no way.
It's 450 something, and the other duplex is 250 from memory, which is all proper, legal, legitimate on the measuring.
According to Mr. Asfor's math, he built 3 dwellings on 700 square metres of land, but the official block size is 654 square metres. The duplex and subdivision is 404 square metres, below the required minimum land size of 450. The Mayor's application included this admission. The development was non-compliant, but argued it was minor and justified. The DA was signed off within weeks. Council told ACA it appointed an external probity advisor and an independent planning consultant approved Asfor's DAs. We asked for the names and who paid the bill. Council didn't respond.
Well, it strikes me as kind of one standard for one and one standard for another. If this is Lewis's bedroom,
Right.
or former bedroom,
Yeah.
here's one of his guitars.
So there's memories of Lewis here, you know?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day, Steve.
In late 2020, Council issued Paul a cease to occupy notice for the granny flat. Lewis is intellectually impaired and suffers from schizophrenia. Lewis, can you remember the day when the people from the council came over and they walked into your bedroom? Can you remember that day?
I was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Lewis hasn't just moved out of the granny flat, he's moved countries. As the DA drama dragged on in 2023, Paul made the difficult decision to send his son to live with his sister in New Zealand.
Love you, mate. Okay. Bye-bye. See you.
How tough is that?
That's pretty hard. That's very hard. I promised myself that I wouldn't get emotional today, but it's very difficult not to.
Carl Asfor says he also has a child with a disability, but he doesn't hold much compassion for Paul and his situation.
Why would I send my kid overseas, see my child, my blood, my bones, and I'm sending him overseas because council says I can't live in a granny flat? Like, I don't know which parent would do that.
Paul's hands aren't entirely clean in this granny flat fiasco. The DA standoff began when Paul built a carport without council approval.
Do you wish you never built it?
Look, in hindsight, yes, I wish I hadn't.
Council says it's buried planning controls to approve DAs for both Paul's granny flat and carport. But Paul says there's conditions. He has to make the carport taller to match the one next door. Paul says his neighbour built that without council approval and had it signed off later.
So if Paul reduces the footprint of the carport yet builds it 4.5 metres tall, then he can keep the granny flat. Absurd as it sounds, that's the deal. Paul, why not just do what council says and Lewis can come back?
Lewis's mental condition has deteriorated to a point where we're not sure that we will ever be able to bring him back home. The damage has been done, and it's serious damage.
Former Mayor Carl Asfor has also moved out. He's upgraded his home from Greenacre to Strathfield, outside the Canterbury Bankstown area where he serves as a councillor. At least he's got the Porsche to get to council meetings.
Okay.
And I'll let you know how they've been over backwards for this bloke to help him. I follow the rules, and this guy should follow the rules as well.
What's good for Mr. Asfor, what's good for our neighbours, I want to be good for us. It's as simple as that.
Doesn't quite stack up, does it? And Paul's not done yet. He says he'll be front and centre at tomorrow's council meeting.